Hello, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, and welcome to a traditional best of three Zendikar Rising draft here on MTG Arena. If you'd like to watch the drafting live, you can do so at www.twitch.tv/Semulin. Is there anything here better than the Disciple? Because, like, this is okay in Clerics, it's okay in blue-black value, it's okay in green-black value, it's okay in party decks, it's okay anywhere. Like, Geopede's fine, I like Geopede. You could take the Bug Catcher if that's really your jam, it's not mine. I like creatures that can attack and block. So I think I'm kind of interested in the Demon's Disciple. I haven't really been able to do anything with Skycleave Relic either, so I guess this is a somewhat underwhelming Disciple. This does not mean we're black, it just means I have a black card. So we got potential big payoff if we go for the Golem. No, it's Tuesday. Pretty sure it's Tuesday all day. I streamed on Monday, and now I'm streaming, so it must be Tuesday. It's a bit of a joke, Joseph. I took yesterday off because I was quite sick. That's why the stream title says Happy Tuesday. I think the Relic Golem's the biggest payoff if we get into rogues. Like, you guys know I like Golgari, and Golgari wants all three of these cards, but if it's open, I'll get a lot more of these. If we happen to end up in rogues, this card's pretty good. If we don't, I have not had a problem getting to playables in Zendikar Rising. So I think I'm going to go for the Relic Golem. Again, this is not us, like, committing. It's just, we could. I think here the Gnarlred Colony is just the best card in the pack with a nod to the Visionary. So I'm just going to take a colony. I could sort of respect Rebirth and Pack Beast. But we've seen good green passed in the first two packs. Let's get on that. It's not forcing Golgari if you get past a Deadly Alliance pick 4. That's how I'm justifying it, at least. Like, we're doing black things now. I don't know black what. Usually pick 5 is where you can tell what the table's either undervaluing or not interested in. I really think that's been a level up for me, is recognizing the pick 5 conundrum. Is once you get to pick 5, that's where, like, these people are telling you what they're not drafting. And what they're not drafting is crabs or blue-green. Interesting. So I was pretty sure we were going to get into Golgari. But this is a tough one because I could take the crab and build into blue-black with the Disciple, the Relic Golem, and the Alliance. Or I could take the Familiar and build into blue-green Kicker. But it's kind of the decision point about whether I want to be blue-black or blue-green. I think with the cards I have already, I'm more interested in the crab. This pack kind of sucks, but not just for me, for everybody. Like, there's a decent adjacent card in red, decent adjacent card in white. There's some possibility we could play it all, but I don't think I want to. And all of this is stuff I barely want to run. I'm going to take the Reclaim. There's a possibility we still go into blue-green or a green-black. Those cards are just really underwhelming. None of this really matters. I'll take a Cascade Seer, sure. Okay. Another decision point, because we've got Visionary versus Divner. To an extent versus Stalker and ACOG. These cards are so hard for me to choose from. I think I'm going to take the Divner, but I'm really not sure. I know that Sultai colors are open. I would say I'm overvaluing the black because, again, we first picked this, but we did see a relatively late alliance. None of these are particularly amazing. If we get into rogues, we could play that. I still feel like we haven't entirely committed to blue-black. This would be the pick that commits us to it. Well, not necessarily. I can find another Bright Blade. Like, I think this is where I'm looking. There's the aesthetic, too. It's pretty good. But let's see where this takes us. It takes us to I could use some 2-drops. We didn't really see any of the good rogues there. And I don't have a super compelling reason to be milling my opponent. But we could still flex out of this, potentially. Not for a big club. But never unhappy to have a Feed the Swarm in the deck. Sometimes there's stuff you need to kill, so let's kill it. I really want to, ideally, find some cards that want to get our opponent to that threshold. Well, I don't think using Mill as a win con is something you should really be doing in this set. I think using Mill to enable your rogue cards is pretty good. So a card like Maddening Cacophony, for example, I'm really not interested in. I can play this in rogues, but it's not particularly good. I've been happier with it in Golgari. I've used the Dreadworm as a finisher in plenty of decks. But it's also not very good. I guess there's not really much to see here. Somebody took an uncommon. Oh, I think with the Feed the Swarm and the Deadly Alliance, we're black. I think that means I take the Shadow Cat and consider Golgari as an option here. Although this Mind Carver is a reason to be milling people. I don't mind Vanquish the Weak either, but like, when you're looking at Crab, Golem, Mind Draining Glacial Grasp, making it in the deck, this can turn anything into a threat. So I think I want it. That makes me feel like I've got a reasonable balance of ways to mill them and reasons to be milling them. All right, Removal Suite is set up. I just need 2s. At this point, I'd take the 1/3 Clerics. I don't think I want 2 Mind Carvers when I don't have any creatures to put them on. I mean, I like Thwart the Grave. I kind of need crap like the Squid, but let's trust in the draft gods. Oh, hallelujah. We've been waiting for you. I would like a Sky Dancer and a Stalker too, but we're sitting here midway through pack 2 and have no 2-drops. I think we need to be an adult and focus on that. Because, like, realistically, these 2 cards probably don't belong in this deck, although they could. I kind of want the other Disciple here. Normally, I wouldn't be that interested in the Sacrifice cards, but given that we've got the Thwart the Grave, I think I am. Yeah, again, interested, but I got to take this. We also need a few more rogues at this point, because I think ideally we're not playing either of these wizards. That can sort of fill the role of a 2-drop. Good morning, Zach. Like, I've got a bunch of filler fours if we need them, and you can play a deliberate if you just need something in your deck. I've liked it a little better when you can combo it with like a relic amulet. The blue hasn't really come around. Like, it's interesting, but we're not that far off from just being like, screw it, we'll play green anyway. Still don't want the cacophony. Nah, I don't mind the gems though. Yeah, there's still a distinct possibility we were secretly Golgari. Although this is giving me even more reasons to want to mill people, which makes the crab better. And there's another 2-drop. So we're probably playing blue-black. So I don't hate running the Expedition Divner. And I want both of these and the field research. What's not a secret? I think this deck wants the Wind Robber more. Well, there seemed to be a rumor that I wanted... Okay, yeah, now I think we can start going, because I think we can actually get value out of a duelist here. If it's going to be a 4-2 some amount of the time, I think we're happy with that. There's a rumor that I really liked Golgari, and it's not that I really liked it so much as it was open so dang much. I kind of had to play it. I don't think I want a Bubble Snare in a deck that's running 2 Demon's Disciples. There's a question of whether I've got enough creatures to run to thwart the Graves. Because the Skydancer looks pretty good here. It's another evasive creature that could carry the Mind Carver. Yeah, I think I want to make the first Thwart the Grave better rather than have a second and cross our fingers that we can make that one work too. I think I'd play another Feed the Swarm. I think I'd play a Pack Beast, but I also think that there's no reason not to have some spell lands at this point. Because if the last 2 cards in the deck need to be these, I can live with that. So I'm going to take the Bane Veil here. This pack is coming together a bit better, which I appreciate. We can grab a Royal Mage here. I wouldn't mind a Stalker, but given that we have some decent spells to get back, I think I'm happy with 1 Royal Mage. Hey, a nice 2-drop Rogue. Cool. We're not likely to get the party thing going, because we don't have any warriors, but I like that guy. None of this is for us. I don't think we would play literally any of these cards. Maybe we side into Golgari. We did at least get the blue cards in this pack. And I think we probably identified a color pair that was open. Because we got this Living Tempest pick 8, which means we probably did something right. I don't mind having one of these to side in. I've had a couple matchups that kind of revolved around it. I expect Living Stronghold in the next set. Do I want to trim an ACOG for a duelist? No, but I'd like the ability to if I feel like ACOG is going to be bad against somebody. I never side in negate. I always take one and say it's for the sideboard and then literally never play it. We could play that, potentially. I think it might be better than a squid. It's like we do have the party payoff and it's not super likely to come together. But usually I want to play the squid to block. And I think having just a random 4/3 that could make this even more valuable is at least pseudo-interesting. I also think I'm okay with 8/8. It, like, ideally we'd have had a black spell land there instead, but we didn't. I'm not entirely sure it's better than the squid, because this deck could be aggressive too, but like... I kind of need the blue early and the black later, and I don't need double black until very late. So I think the mana base looks okay here. This is an interesting one. It's not quite the same rogue deck I usually play. Let's do our Stream Raiders battle. And then see what sort of trouble we can get into. Pew pew pew. Yes, this is a Game Boy aesthetic. Miori with the kills and assists. Thanks for the carry. Rewards for Abe, Jank, Blue, and Lego. We're in Retrolandia. Alright, I don't quite know what we're up against, but I'll lead the charge from the north. And let's see if we can win some magic. Not like that, we can't. Just mull till we hit crab. I can sort of do something with this, but it makes me nervous. Because, like, we need to hit black. At least I can cycle this to try to get something going. Do I want a 2-drop Royal Mage against... Yes, with this hand I do. I just want to play something here. They're likely to have a 2/3 or a 3/3 next turn, but at least I can threaten to block something. There's a possibility we just tap whatever they have and get in anyway. I can attack right through that. Because I'm certainly Glacial Grasping it on their turn. Blue isn't really what I needed. No, we're not winning right now, Dad. Nor are we ever going to win. This sucks. There is literally no cost to playing a 2-color deck in draft. This is why you should draft monocolor decks. I was going to say, that is incredibly passive if they're not going to attack with the cat. What? That's just crazy. All right, we're going to do what we got to do, which is try to stay in this game. Mindcarver is online. Okay, I guess maybe they don't draw a land is our out here, and then we've got a swamp on top. I don't feel like this is a deck I should commonly lose to, but that was a mulligan and a lot of turns without the black mana. The good news is if I can ever get ahead of this deck, they're going to have a really tough problem. That's not 0, but it's awful close. Okay, so the plan is, again, they don't have a land. Okay, they had the land. If they didn't have the land, we could play the Duelist minus the Elemental and block the Wizard and still get another turn. I don't know that we could do a whole lot with it. I've become more interested in the Squid than the Vampire. But I think otherwise we're okay. I need 2 colors of mana to operate. Squidward leading a matchup, yes. Two colors of mana in my opener. Mardu Heck? Still going to lead with an island in case the top card is the crab. They were doing a decent adjacent job of filling up their graveyard for us, so we appreciate this. think that's probably worth a kill. And while I wouldn't call this ideal, we're experiencing kind of the reverse problem. Why not get in for 3? My concern is I don't know that I can block whatever their follow-up is without some draws of our own. Sid, thank you for the resub, man. Y'all spam some cats for Sid. I hope things are going well in your world. Thank you very much. Okay. Okay. Wonder why that guy's holding back. We're a little bit outclassed here. Just a little bit. I don't know that that's going to solve the problem. So I can attack here and still not be able to cycle, which is an issue. So I could chump this, block that, and trade, and then draw what? Not really anything at that point. I suppose that means I'm chumping here. I'm not quite sure what our outs are at this point. I'm not entirely convinced there are any. Well, I can trade this with the Minotaur now. No, I still can't. I've got a crab with a knife and it's not good enough. Wah, wah, wah. Sometimes you're the pigeon, sometimes you're the statue. What about a pointed stick? That was unfortunate. Let's see if we can salvage a 2-1 out of this. I don't think that would be the worst case scenario. This is certainly keepable. It does what the deck wants to do. If I draw an island, I'll still turn 1 the crab. Otherwise, we're looking at this. Island's still a good draw. As you can see. They've had enough crab shenanigans. I don't fault them for that. Oh, nice. Wombo combo achieved. That's pretty good. This is more how I envisioned the deck working out. Get back whatever you like. Boop. Yeah, I like that better. I like that a lot better. These Rockslide Sorcerers are going to be kind of rough for me, so I think I want to swap something out for the next ACOG, and it might be the Duelist. I'm already going to have a tough time against the thing, so having up counter spells for it seems like a really good idea. We can just make sure if we have one, we hold it up on turn 4, because they're going to slam it. It's pretty good against me. Yeah, we can probably get Mr. Crab going. It makes the rest of the deck better. Ideally, we'd draw more lands after that. That was at least my plan. But then we didn't. I didn't particularly care for that aspect. Yep. I guess that was one of the least threatening things they could play because I've got a Death Toucher, but I think we're on draw land next turn or we're dead. If they kill this, I'm in trouble. But we have 2 lands. It's not like we can play around much here. Okay. Okay. That's a big oof, as the youths say. Crab's kind of done his job, huh? If I cash this out, I can potentially block something, and then the Relic Golem can block next turn. Because they're at 7 now. This leaves me the opportunity to block the Gecko, or at least hold it back, and then play a 3-mana 6/6, which is the kind of play we probably need to get back in this game. It's a little less exciting now that they can get back an artifact removal spell. But I suppose I can force their hand, because they want to get back Vastwood Surge and kill me with it. What's up, Jacques? No, I streamed on Monday, and then I streamed again today, so it's obviously Tuesday. Oh shoot, I didn't quite do the math there, did I? Oopsie! That's how that works. If I don't stream on a weekday, then it didn't happen. I still like the ACOG, especially considering their mana base there, but I'm going to need more than 2 lands to play Magic. I might even need more than 3 some games, but definitely more than 2. Less than 3 is not particularly useful. Well, I don't know about that many. Yeah, that's a hand I can't keep, which kind of sucks because I'd like to, but I can't. All fall week sounds good. Okay. I'll just sit here and be a death touch blocker. Or maybe he'll get sacrificed? I don't know. There's a lot of things that could happen with him. There's only one thing that can happen to that. There's potentially a world where we feed the bubble snare, but I don't think we're currently living in it. I think given that we have the Disciple and a Death Touch blocker just chillaxing there, I'd rather keep it. where it is. I think getting that off the board makes me happy because I can put him in an awkward spot with the Disciple next turn. Well, they're probably thinking to double block here. Oh, I guess they didn't need to double block, but I've got a flyer I can put that on eventually. And another Disciple and an unblockable dude. We got a lot of things we can do. The power of the bug catcher is really on display here. Should be exploding. This is a little awkward because the mountain means they could have a royal eruption, which I would very much like them not to have. Thank you for the vampire bits, Wallet Inspector. Yeah, they may very well win the game if they have that. I'm not entirely sure I can beat it. I think I need to do this first because I'm not guaranteed to be able to get it out next turn. They don't have it. That works. We're currently playing Zendikar Rising Draft. The cube's only available at best of one, which really isn't my jam. This is MTG Arena that we're playing. I think the biggest difference is that MTG Arena is looking to focus mostly on Standard with Historic and Draft mixed in and kind of play Magic as if it were a video game. Whereas Magic Online is really trying to portray everything that you can do in paper Magic. So all of the formats are available. It's a 20-year-old game, and it looks like a 20-year-old game. But you can play both. I think the biggest difference is Arena is the new sexy Magic, and MTGO is the old 20-year-ago thing. I like Arena, and I like drafting. Stupid Sexy Soren, we all remember. All right, let's do our Stream Raider battle, and then we can play the last round here. Hopefully we got this one. There's a lot of enemies. We may not have this one. Okay, never mind. We were fine the whole time. Semulin with the kills, Fasty Dave with the assists, rewards for Lego and Shivan. Sure, I'll take the gold. I like gold. All right, so we need to... I want to go for this boss. So we may as well get 2 4 skulls on the way. I think we can take them. I don't particularly care for Magic Online anymore. I don't have it installed. Are these all busters? Yeah, there's a lot of busters there. We're going to need some ranged forces. For sure. So I'll set up a ranged dude. I would encourage anybody who's getting into Magic now to play on Arena. Magic Online is a bit of a money sink unless you're very, very good at the game. If you want to play limited and you're good at it and you're not a streamer, I think MTGO still has some things going for it. This is a decent start. I don't think you'll get better bang for your buck on Moto, Iggy, but my perspective may be a little different, which I can appreciate. For now. They may get that on Arena eventually. Yeah, I don't particularly want to make this trade, but I think I'm still supposed to. There's a chance they don't want to make it either, but... Nah, I don't want to play against that. I mean, I think that one of the challenges with Magic Online currently is that it's a really difficult interface to learn. I would have been a really good time to draw black mana, which has been kind of the story of this draft, if you think about it. Because we're kind of dead now, and I don't want to be. Yeah, I suppose the difference there is I have actual experience with Magic Online. I streamed it for 5 years. I'm very familiar with it. I guess we're playing this dude out now and dying. I don't think so, Manoran, but it could be. I have to hit this land drop. Nope, never happening. I don't know. That's a level of, like, I don't like that. Is chess for advanced players and checkers isn't? No. They're different games. No. No. Get right out of here with your gatekeeperiness. I'm not. They're different games. Is chess a more complex game? Sure. It is a little bit. This game's over, right? You can read stuff like that thing, Garth, but if you want to, you can also play around it. Like, I think some of the timing restrictions in Arena could be better, but I also think, like, for me, like, I suppose I should state my opinion and then be done with it. And if you guys want to argue about it, you can. But, like, for me, I want to play a video game. I don't like paper magic. For me, it's a lot of time shuffling, a lot of time waiting between rounds. If I could be playing paper magic right now, I wouldn't, because I don't want to, I don't like it. There's a social aspect to paper magic. If Dave and Martin lived next to me instead of in another country, yes, we would be playing sealed events some weekends and having a beer together. But like when most of my friends are, spread all across the world anyway, like video games are just better for me. I think the biggest difference is that Magic Online is really recreating paper magic perfectly. And Arena isn't trying to do that. I don't think that comparison's quite accurate. They're kind of like different versions of it. But like even if you get into chess, if we want to continue that analogy, like who's the best chess player in the world? Do you know? No, it's not Manilake. Somebody will know. Magnus, are you sure? Are you sure it's Magnus? Okay, because it is Magnus if you're talking about chess, where you have a time clock that's set with 30 minutes. But what if your time clock's set at 5 minutes? Ever heard of bullet chess? So why does the amount of time you have make a difference? It was an arbitrary time meter that was set. That's why Magnus is the best. There's a very interesting podcast specifically about this. Revisionist History has a lot of interesting episodes. One of them is about bullet chess. He is not the best bullet chess player, which is 5 minute clocks. I can't remember the dude's name who was the best bullet chess player, but it's like an arbitrary decision, much like getting lands in your opener. Like the amount of time you have determines who's the best chess player. Well, I don't know that this was as much of an inventing a new thing as it was like thinking about the amount of time that you have determines who's the best. The episode that I listened to was actually about standardized testing. And it's like, why is there a time limit on standardized tests? And the answer seemed to be, just, I don't know, because there is. Thank you, Draft Better. I'm kind of tuned out on this game because apparently I'm just not going to draw the lands. Sorry, YouTube. I tried. I really tried. Yeah, that was a really good one, Quixote. Like all right, so since the YouTube video is a wash because I can't draw lands, I will encourage you to listen to Revisionist History. That podcast was actually about the LSAT, and the chess stuff was like secondary stuff. But if you want a good podcast, check out Revisionist History by Malcolm Gladwell. Not sponsored by them. I just really like it. I think that's my favorite active podcast. Shuffler, why? Why you do this to me? Next time I'm going to make an all-land deck, so this can't happen. Given infinite time, anybody could solve anything, so why does it matter? Like, the tests seem to say that if you can't get knowledge quickly, that you're not useful. But the whole point of that podcast was, who cares? It's the information age. Like, it took me a while to get the hang of it, but I have the entirety of human knowledge literally in my hand. If there's something I don't know that I'd like to, I can know it with just a few clicks. I'm just getting outskilled by my opponent pretty easily here. Why do you need to get it fast? Why do you need to get anything fast? Dude, I was in one of the most capitalist work environments I can possibly imagine. And let me tell you one thing, going fast screwed things up over and over and over for all of the people that I worked with. You did not want to go fast. I'm pretty sure we're going to win this round. I mean, we're just chatting stream at this point. Aha! Get milled. Well, this will surely save us. Yeah, it's the opposite, right? If you go too fast, it's bad. What's the bloody point? All right, at least we got the Scute Swarm out of the way. So now all we need to do to stabilize... Oh. Sometimes you're the pigeon, sometimes you're the statue. They really needed that to be able to win. Oh, God. Well, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, hopefully you like my random babble. Because if you can't draw lands, you can't play Magic. It is what it is. I appreciate you guys and gals tuning in. If you would like to watch the drafts live, you can do so at www.twitch.tv/Semulin and participate in these fabulous conversations we have when there's really not any Magic to be played. Sometimes it's Candyland, and I think you have to accept that if you want to get even better at Magic. Dave and I did a podcast episode a long time ago that I think was actually titled Candyland, talking about that. Like, some of the games, when you play them, the decks are just stacked in such a way that you're not going to win. So there you go. All right, we'll see you next time, YouTube.